Subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe.
The best way to attract high-ticket coaching clients is not to spend all your time.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Unpopular Opinion. I am your host, Chawanne Burns. And you guys got to forgive me. Put in the chat, put a 1 in the chat. Let me know that you could hear me and see me. I am going at it alone. Miss Super Producer, she could not be with us today. So we're going to get started. We have several stories that I want to share with you today. First of all, we have a story about Anthony Anderson, a judge down in Georgia. Some information about a judge down in Florida, some Jay-Z information, and much more. So you guys put it in chat. Let me know where you're viewing from. I see we have Toy Mafia in the building. What is good, Miss Toy Mafia? It's always great to see you. And you know, we have X online. X is the silent user, but X if you're tuning in, put your name in the chat and let me know where you're viewing from. So we're without any delay, let's get started on our stories. Let me see. And hopefully you can see this screen. Oh, I'm gonna present. Okay, let me see. Okay, there you have it. Okay, so this first story we're talking about is the judge. It's a judge down in Florida that did not get reelected, and he decided to unalive himself. Okay. He decided to unalive himself. It's kind of tragic because from what the report says, this judge, he was going through some financial issues of a failed business attempt. He just recently went through a divorce, and a day before the holiday, the New Year's Eve, he decided to take his own life. And let me share this. And it's saying on this report, a Georgia state judge has taken his own life inside of the courtroom. The body of Judge Stephen Yeckel was discovered inside Effingham County State Court on Tuesday morning. He is believed to have unalived himself. Okay. And they said he lost his bid for re-election, and he sent in a resignation letter to the Governor Kemp, and Kemp did not accept his resignation letter. And reason why he sent his resignation in after he lost, he found out that it was the election had poor voter turnout. I think they said it was like 5% turnout for this election, and he just thought it was unheard of. He just couldn't believe that only 5% of registered voters turned out for this election. And so that's why he sent his resignation papers in. But unfortunately, and I'm sorry, it says too important to be decided only on 6% of eligible voters. And that's what he put in his resignation letter. But the Kemp rejected the resignation request, stating he wishes to maintain and respect the will of the people of the county. So, he left behind 4 children. He had 2 children by his, I guess, former or most recent wife, and 2 other older children that he left behind. But his ex-wife is saying that he was a very loving husband, very devoted father, and she actually praised him in this article. So this is what's on YouTube. The court, what the sheriff is saying.
Right now, just the sheriff's office.
Will GBI be involved in the investigation?
No, not at this point. GBI will do the autopsy. Of course, we have to do that through them, but they'll be involved in as far as the autopsy goes.
Is there any word on who discovered his body?
It was one of my deputies. I don't know right now which one, but it was one of our
Is there any word on who discovered his body? Courtroom?
It was one of my deputies. I don't know.
Court is supposed to be in session today?
No, he didn't have any court this week.
Did he have anything yesterday?
I don't remember. I was in and out yesterday, but I don't remember of anything. Usually this time of year, everything's winding down, so you don't have too much. But he could have, but I'm just not sure.
Sheriff, I know that, y'all in the legal community obviously work very closely together. Do you have any comments just for the community or the judge's family at this time?
Yes, and, we want to offer them our condolences. This is never good for anybody. The family's distraught, and it's supposed to be a happy time this time of year, and now they've got this. I think he's got some sons that are law enforcement too, so they know what it's like this time of year. And I can't imagine if they have anything that they need from us, we'll be available and make ourselves available to them going forward.
Are you asking for any help from the community on possibly uncovering a reason for this? Any premeditated reason for what happened?
Of course, if anybody knows of anything, we would appreciate a phone call. There's not much that we know in the community that would be unless he spoke to somebody individually. But we have talked with his secretary, and she's been with us the entire time through the investigation.
Has she hinted on anything?
Apparently she didn't know anything either, so it was all a surprise to her as well.
That's all for me.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so yeah, it's very tragic. You guys put it in the chat. Let me know if you could hear the audio. I had to take my earphones off. I don't think the audio was playing. If you could hear yeah, this was a very tragic event, and I really I think you can't control, how people vote, or if voter turnout is going to turn out the way you want it to turn out. But yeah, put it in the chat and let me know what your thoughts is about that whole ordeal. So we're going to send our prayers to that particular family. Anywho, we're going to go to our next story. Now, this is something that is I get kind of teed off about, because Peter Thomas, I don't know if you guys remember Peter Thomas. He was part of the Atlanta Housewives, and he was married to Cynthia Bailey, I believe. And so he's been facing some legal troubles because he decided to open up a restaurant, or several bar and restaurants, and throughout the years he did not pay taxes. So and they said he had several failed business ventures, his restaurants, and he decided that he was struggling financially, so he was going to forego paying taxes, and he was just trying to wait until he, I guess, earn some more money before he made it right with the IRS. But I guess he never reached to that financial status that he wanted to. So he decided that he didn't want to pay taxes, or never did got around to paying taxes. So the IRS came after him. Okay, so let me just pull up this story. And it says Real Housewives of Atlanta, Peter Thomas hit with prison sentence amid plans to return to the small screen. It is saying Peter Thomas' sentence puts a spanner in the wheels of his return to television. The reality star was reportedly preparing to launch a new television show before the judge sentenced him to an 18-month prison sentence. Okay. As part of the sentence, Peter Thomas will also be placed on supervised release with strong terms conditioned for 2 years after his exit from jail. Peter Thomas, they're saying in this article that he had a documentary about his life, and it was supposed to be a series of, a documentary series. So short episodes about his current life and his previous life. And I guess he has to fulfill this prison sentence before he, start filming this. Okay. So he was sentenced on December the 19th. And this documentary is being produced by Blue Collar Production. And they're saying it will examine Peter's current activities, including his personal relationship, the opening up bars and restaurant, and his legal issues. Now, in regards to his tax situation, of course, he was sentenced to 18 months and 2 years supervised release. One thing that's really that stands out about this is, they're asking him to submit random drug tests. So random searches and random drug testing. And because they said they want to make sure he's not using hardcore drugs. So that's, maybe he has a substance abuse problem. I'm not for sure why they would require that for a tax evasion. I just don't know. But they're saying that he owed over $700,000 or over $600,000 in taxes, and also he has to pay $2.5 million of employment taxes over the last 6 years. So it's saying it $650,000 in trust fund taxes on his employee wages in Charlotte, North Carolina. And he also alleged defaulted on over $2.5 million in employment taxes. And then he has to pay $2.5 million in restitution. So he's got to pay about, $6 million? That's a lot of money that he has to pay. But I wonder why maybe he has bad money management skills, or maybe he was over his head, because if you kind of think about, if you owe $650,000 worth of taxes, or 2.5, almost $3 million worth of taxes, how much money did you actually make to owe that much money on your employment taxes? It got to be a lot, right? So anyway. So you guys put in the chat. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the tax conviction, and also this drug. They're trying to make sure he's not using any hardcore drugs, like he had a problem before. Okay. So anyway, our next story is up. Let me see. Oh, now this story is pretty nasty. This is a nasty story. And actually this is an old story, you guys. Anthony Anderson mom taught him about oral sex. That's what they're saying in this article. It's saying in this article, Anthony Anderson mama taught him how to eat. And he shared this on Conan O'Brien's show. This was years ago. And it ran across my feed, so I couldn't believe it, so I had to talk about it. Okay. Anthony Anderson, let me just share this with you. It says, Blackish star Anthony Anderson has one of the most awkward mom stories ever told to late night show audience, but he's not ashamed because he said it turned out to be great knowledge. Okay. It says, I'll just cut to the chase. My mother taught me how to go downtown. That's what he's saying. My mother taught me how to go downtown. My mother mother taught me how to go down. And to make it perfectly clear to the shocked host as to what he was trying to say, Anderson clarified, "My mama taught me how to eat the cookie. Oral sex, Conan, oral sex. I think, should you go?" O'Brien joke. Okay. This is a weird thing to admit that what your mother taught you. Now, he said he has 2 other brothers, and I guess he was home from college one weekend, and he had some of his friends over and their girlfriends, and they were sitting around in the family room, and she not only taught him but her brothers and her friends, or his friends, the girlfriends. And she said, "My boys is not gonna go be out there not knowing what they're doing." And she had a very extensive video collection on how she would go into graphic detail as to what was happening on the video and what either me or my brothers or my young ladies should be doing. Her motivation was, my father didn't know how to, he says the explicit word. So she said, I would be damned if I send my 3 boys out in the world not knowing how to do that. She said it was her duty to teach them properly because your daddy didn't know what the hell he was doing. This is really weird. This is a really weird story. To me is disgusting, but because I can't imagine. I have 2 boys. I can't imagine saying, "Oh, let me teach you how to do this." And it's like, maybe I would leave that to my husband. I'm not for sure. Do you supposed to be teaching your kids that kind of stuff? I mean, they're 20, but it's kind of awkward for your mom to be teaching you that kind of thing. You guys put it in chat. Put it in the chat. Let me know what you think about that. I think it's pretty disgusting, but I guess people do it because she did. Anyway, next story. Now, Lil Durk is looking like, and I think I predicted this a while back when Lil Durk, he got arrested for a murder for hire charge. And, now they're saying, and this is what they do. I mean, it's not a surprise to me. They're saying the feds will be using some of the lyrics Lil Durk wrote in this case. And so they're saying the experts they cry foul. The way that the prosecuting are using lyrics is really to strip them of any artistic value, to deny them the statue of art at all, and to treat them as literal confessions. That's what they used to do back in the day. So I don't understand why they are surprised about this. It says, Lil Durk Gritty's rap about Chicago street violence turned him into a chart-topping superstar. But the feds are now going to try to use some of those lyrics to prove he orchestrated the deadly plot to kill a rival in Los Angeles. Experts in civil libertarians says that the strategy is part of an alarming trend playing out in the courtroom across the country that undermines free speech and stigmatizes one of America's most popular art forms. It goes to say, I guess you got to donate to read the rest of this article, but You guys let me know what you think about that. I thought back in the day that's what they did anyway. The FBI will come in, or the feds, or whoever's investigating you. They'll look at your social media. They'll look at your lyrics that you're writing. So I don't think this is a surprise that they would do this. I don't know how I feel about this jacket on Lil Durk. I know it's Christian Dior, but is this a man's jacket or a woman's jacket? Anyway, that's off topic. I'm not surprised by this. I'm not surprised that the feds or FBI or cops will, or gang, the gang squad, they will come in and use whatever you say in your lyrics against you. Is it artistic speech? Probably so, but I don't know how I feel about this. I know you should have free speech. I think everyone should have it and is allowed to it. But then you're saying that you're saying that the cops should not equate to what you're saying in your lyrics as literal sense. I mean, it's something that they've been doing for years. I don't know. All right, and now if they rule against Lil Durk, are they going to say, oh, look at all these other cases they use their lyrics against these to convict, so and so. And I can't see them doing that, overturning somebody's conviction, because now the experts, whatever you want to call it, are saying, oh, no, he's being artistic. No, he's talking about a life that he's actually living. Hence, this is why he hired a group of people to take out somebody's life. I mean, what more can you say about that? Anyway, you guys put in the chat. Let me know what you think. Now we have another story, and this story is about Jay-Z. I think Jay-Z is the next story. Let me make sure. Yep, Jay-Z. Now, we've been talking about Jay-Z and Sean Puffy Combs a lot, okay? I think this is the last story. I know I ran through those stories real fast, huh? We've been talking about Jay-Z and Sean Puffy Combs a lot in regards to all the SA allegations against Jay-Z. Actually, it's not a lot against Jay-Z. It's just one that is a very fishy story. I'm surprised they haven't dropped this case yet, but they're going to remain forward with this case. And they are allowing this individual to remain anonymous. Okay. So they're saying in this article, Jay-Z's lawyer says Jane Doe case claim too old to pursue. So Tuesday, we found out they were going to let her remain anonymous. Now Jay-Z's lawyer is like, okay, there's a statutory on when you could sue. I thought they lift those statutories maybe, or change the law in New York. That's why we saw a lot of people coming out with these old claims, because I think it used to be 5 years, right? But now I think they changed it for 20 years. You guys put it in the chat. I forget. I don't know if it was vice versa or what. But anyway, so Jay-Z's lawyer is saying it's too old to pursue. Jay-Z is opening yet another new front in his all-out attack on this Jane Doe accuser who alleges he SA'd her with Sean Combs when she was just a minor back in September 2002. After suing the woman's lawyer for extortion, vehemently denying the woman's claim in a lengthy ex post and asking for expedited orders unmasking the woman and striking her complaint, Jay-Z's lawyer filed a new court paperwork today saying he also plans to challenge the lawsuit on the grounds that Doe's decade case claim simply doesn't qualify for revival under the look back window linked to New York City's Victim of Gender Motivated Violence Protection Act. In his filing, the lawyer Alex Spiro said that the GMVA was enacted until December 19, 2000, and a full 3 months after the alleged assaults. They're claiming that it cannot apply retroactively to create a cause of action unavailable to plaintiffs at the time in the question. Spiro wrote in his letter to the court, which was obtained by Rolling Stone, a contrary conclusion will violate both the state and federal due process protection. Okay. A letter cites a prior ruling in which a federal judge in the Southern District of New York tossed a essay lawsuit filed by a former child model, Jean Bellino, against Aerosmith frontman Steven Tyler. The judge dismissed the claim because it sought to use the GMVA rival window for the alleged attack that purportedly took place in Manhattan in 1985 when Bellino was 17 and Tyler was about 27 years old. Both Bellino and Jane Doe suing Jay-Z cited the still open GMV window was after missing the August 2021 deadline to file otherwise time-barred claims under the New York's Child Victims Act. It says in her complaint, Jane Doe alleges that both Combs and Jay-Z, born Sean Carter, essayed her in a private party or at a private party. And she claims that she was 13 years old at the time and gained access to the party by showing up to Radio City Music Hall without the ticket. And you guys know the story. She had somebody drive her like 4 or 5 to 6 hours away. I think she was somewhere in upstate New York. And I think they said Rochester. But anyway, she was like 4 or 5 hours away. And she wanted to attend this VMA Awards. So the guy that drove her, he's no longer living. So they can't corroborate the story if she was driven up there. Also, her daddy was saying he could not, he think he would recall this story because she claims that after the alleged assault happened, she called him at the gas station and told him to pick her up. So, and then she claims that she was talking to a music group at the party, and that they reached out to the music group, and the music group said, no, we didn't attend the VMAs. We were on tour in 2000 when the VMAs happened. So in this Monday filing, they just filed it. Spiro further argued that Doe's claim wouldn't qualify for the revival under the GMVA Act for the added reasons that the statute was enacted by New York City Council and only applies to conduct within city limits. He said the alleged after-party venue described the Doe's lawsuit as a large white residence with a U-shaped driveway located about 20 minutes away from Radio City by car. Would have been located outside the territorial boundaries of New York City. Doe's lawsuit does not give an address or the borough. And it says last week, the judge overseeing the case, that the woman could continue to proceed the case anonymously. So they're trying to fast track this to see if they could get this case dropped. Now, this is interesting. I guess Sean Diddy Combs, he has more than 30 essay lawsuits filed against him since his former girlfriend sued him for, you remember Cassie, and she ended up settling for an unknown or undisclosed amount. Hey D, what's up, H Spag? You know what? I don't know how to feel about this. I don't believe the story of the Jay-Z and P. Diddy encounter from this individual person. I'm not for sure if, Jay-Z is that like Sean Diddy Combs. I hear, and matter of fact, I think me and Super Producer was talking about, I guess her name is Superhead. You remember she wrote that tell-all book, and she is claiming Jay-Z is freaky deaky, but not in this type of way. He's not a sexual deviant, I guess you want to call it. He doesn't prey on little girls. Like I said, I don't know how true that is. So I'm thinking that they're just trying to throw everything at, this lawsuit so it could be dropped, because she does have a lot of holes in her story, and maybe to save some money as well, because if you go to trial or whatever you try to do, then you're basically essentially wasting money on something that you didn't do. So, and I could see Jay-Z, if they actually go to trial, actually suing, and he probably won't get no money out of her, but suing the individual that's suing him for defamation of character. I know he's already suing Tony Busby for extortion. So why not sue this girl, even though you're filing under a Jane Doe? Now, is it fair for us to make these false allegations, for women to make false allegations and not have any repercussions towards it? Because you could literally ruin a guy's life making false claims on, them, and they didn't do anything to you. So I think they need to change something in the books to, not to stop people from making allegations, especially if it's true. But, just to be forewarned, like if, they find out that you're making false allegations, the person has the right to countersue you, or you'll face, some type of criminal charges. So you guys put in the chat. Let me know what you think. So this is start of our new year, 2025. Hopefully you guys had a great evening last night. I don't know if you went out and party. I didn't. I was at home. I was actually in the bed. And then my husband woke me up saying, hey, it's about to be 2025. So yeah, it was one of those things. Like I was like an old lady last night. But I really enjoyed myself, and the kids came in. We all, hugged each other saying Happy New Year. So hopefully your new year is going well. And you guys stay tuned this evening or this afternoon. I do have a show that's coming up on my other channel, Chawanne Burns. So make sure you subscribe to that channel, and also subscribe to the Unpopular Opinion channel. You guys, when Miss Super Producer come in over the weekend or Friday, we got to give her the gas face for not showing up. Not showing up. And we'll see you. We'll see you on Friday at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. I'm sending all my good to you. We will talk to you Friday. Now I got to figure out how to work this. Oh, you know what? Maybe my bad.
The next one I want to show you is called Highlight. Absolutely love the approach they took with this app. You should see this. It's a personal.
Don't cover your ass. Don't cover your ass, Justin. You tried.
Ever wondered how everyone sells LLC formation services for free? The way they make their profit is through selling.
Yes, you. Press the